Hello and welcome to another episode of the Cable Plus Property Show. I have with me a repeat guest. He is the chairman of TAA Limited. He is the managing partner at Toyin Ayinde and Associates, Town Planner Olutoyin Ayinde. We're honored having you again on the show.
Pleasure.
All right, so let's get into the meat of the matter. What is town planning and who is a town planner? Particularly, would like you to take us through what a town planner does.
Okay, there are textbook definitions of town planning, but I've tried to look at it my own way, because one of the things that I was able to do in the course of my assignment as national president of the institute was to demystify the term town planning and to make it understood by even the layman on the street, and I think I was able to do a little bit of that. So I would say that town planning is that field that seeks to put beauty and an orderly arrangement into human settlements. And when I say human settlements, it has captured whether it's a town, a city, or a village, and to make them develop over time in an orderly manner, to the extent that the various land uses are in sync and they are in harmony with one another, and of course supported by the relevant infrastructure. So that will mean that when land uses are together, they are compatible. They are not against one another. You don't put a land use that does not require noise by the side of another noise. So that's what town planning is all about, making people live in an environment comfortably and sustainably. That's what it's meant to be. And the decisions that we take from time to time, either as town planners or as administrators, spin off certain dynamics in that entity we call a town. Sometimes it's not the town planner that takes the decision, it's the administrator that takes the decision, but it's going to affect it. I'll give you an example. Many years ago, we're familiar with the Modakeke Ife crisis, and as travelers who pass through that town, they will be attacked. And then the federal government came up with an idea of a bypass, that instead of going through Ife, why don't you bypass and then go to Ilesha straight? By doing that, they were cutting off not just Ife but Oshu, and there used to be this popular woman who sold akara. They called it akara Oshu, and it was popular. But because of that single proclamation to make that bypass, and it was implemented, travelers were no longer passing through Ife to go to Oshu and then to Ilesha. It affected the woman's business. So what did she do? She brought her industry to the expressway. So I'm trying to refer to the fact that I said the decisions we make affect the dynamics of a town. So that's why a town is a living organism. So like you monitor any living organism to see to its growth, to see its direction, and to provide for its needs. That's how a town is. So the town planner is the man that has been trained to understand these dynamics, to predict what is likely to happen, to advise on the things that should be done or not to be done. That's the turf of the town planner. So what does he do? He makes sure that he works on all of these things so that we can have a harmonious environment.
So how would you describe the present state of planning activities in Lagos State?
Let me start on the good note. The good note is to compare Lagos State with other states of Nigeria. And if we do that, we'll say that Lagos is truly the center of excellence. Why? Lagos State has the largest number of plans that have ever been prepared by any state. Lagos State has a regional plan, never mind that it expired in the year 2000. Lagos State has the Lagos Metropolitan Master Plan, and both plans were on and had their term expired in the year 2000. And that was when the government of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu came in. He tried to see if there could be some review of the regional plan, but it never happened. So up till now, there hasn't been a review of the regional plan, which is, by the way, very essential to guide the development of the state. The Metropolitan Master Plan too has not been reviewed, but what we have had over time is the piecemeal approach to having master plans of sectors of the state. So that's when the concept of model city plans was evolved, and then we had the Lagos, the VI Ikoyi model city plan, we had the Ikoyi, we had the Ikeja model city plan, and then later we had the Alimosho model city plan, and then we had the mainland central model city plan, and then of course the Badagry master plan, and then later we had the Apapa model city plan, and then we had Agege, which combined Agege and Ijaye, Ifako Ijaye areas. And then later we've gone to work on Koshofe model city plan, and then Ikorodu master plan, and then of recent Epe master plan. And then of course the Lagos Island model city plan is also one. Some of these plans now are undergoing review. For example, the Badagry master plan is undergoing review, and I'm very, very much aware of that. The Lagos Island master plan is on right now. So in terms of comparison to other states, Lagos by far has prepared many plans. Right now also there are action plans that are being prepared, and then excise village plans. But we still see a gap, because the thing about planning is that once there is a break, that gap will show. When the regional plan and metropolitan master plans were prepared, they were subdivided, particularly the metropolitan master plan was subdivided into 35 districts, and each of those districts, being a fraction of the metropolitan master plan, was supposed to be designed and detailed such that each district could probably have existed on its own, having similar facilities. Let me give you an example. We have ShopRite. ShopRite is a major land use, a major commercial use, and if those 35 districts were actually designed and developed, also we could have had like 35 ShopRites in Lagos State. Can you imagine what that would do to Lagos? Do you know how many people will be employed? Do you know how many journeys that we will save? Because some people come from Agege right now to Ikeja just because they want to come to ShopRite. Some people come from Alagbado just because they want to come to ShopRite. So in terms of the implementation of the lower order plans, Lagos ceased for many years until recently when it began. And so, like I said, when you compare it to other states, you would say Lagos State is doing well. But let Lagos State compare itself to itself, and I will say we're still far behind, and we need to do a lot more so that this state can be fully planned.